Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Savannah and I love doing high-end Dollar Tree DIYs or honestly anything DIY on a budget. So if that's something you're into, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join our savvy family. So I'm back with another Christmas Dollar Tree DIY video. If you guys like what you see in this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment. It just helps YouTube to notice me a little bit more. I'm so excited for you guys to see what I did today. Without further ado, let's get crafting. Okay, for this DIY, I got some of these Coke boxes from Walmart. It came with two for $3.48. And then I have these like wood pieces. I used these in a previous DIY video and it just wasn't lasting in my house. My kids would not leave it alone. So I'm just reusing these. I had screws in them, so I'm just taking my caulk and I'm just filling in those holes and letting those dry. Now these were those like yard sale stakes that you can get from Walmart for like $1.48, and they're huge, and so you would only need two. But you can use whatever you want. You could use jumbo craft sticks. You could go to Lowe's and buy a long piece, whatever you want. And then I'm just kind of like laying it out and marking where I need to cut it. You guys did not need to watch that struggle that I was having trying to cut that wood upstairs because I did not want to go in the garage. So then I'm taking some of these red berries that they are from the Dollar Tree. And I don't know if before I snipped off some on the left side and completely forgot, but the right side looks way fuller to me. So I end up fixing that towards the end. But I'm just taking some electrical tape and I'm just wrapping it around to create a swag. You can use whatever you want. You can use like floral tape, you can use wire, whatever you have on hand. Like, don't go out of your way just to get electrical tape. But this electrical tape is from the Dollar Tree. So anyways, I'm trying to like fluff it out to see how I want to do it. But see, the right side is bigger to me. I don't know. Then I'm just clipping off the end so that you can't see like that brown part in the I don't know, with the red, if that makes any sense. And then, so while that, just set that to the side, and then we're gonna go and start hot gluing our pieces on. And then you guys, when I saw this gift box, I just love it. Loved it. Like, love it, loved it, love. I love the simplicity of it. I love the silver, and I just think this would make a beautiful piece to set on like an entry table or to hang on your wall. I just love this, and I just feel like the wood adds a lot. At first I was gonna like stain the wood to give it like a wood look. You guys know what I meant. But then when I saw this white, because I already had these on hand, I liked the like white, the clean white with a little bit of rustic white to frame it out, if that makes any sense at all. But let me know what you guys would do with yours. Then once you have them all glued in, you're gonna flip this over because this is a gift box and you don't want those pieces to come up. So just hot glue those down so that they stay flat, if that makes any sense. Then we're gonna make a bow to go in the middle of our swag. And I'm just taking this burlap. I believe this is from Walmart, but the Dollar Tree does have burlap. This is just what I had on hand. And I'm just folding it over and taking out those wire pieces. So, and then I just fold it over like so. And I'm taking my wire and I'm cinching it. Be careful though, because sometimes when you're cinching a bow, like it folds back, you want the two middle pieces to meet together in the middle, if that makes sense. You don't want it to fold over and meet in the middle. You want them to go straight down and meet in the middle. Yeah, following me? But it should look something like that. And then I was gonna put like some buffalo check in the middle, and I already had that cut, but I decided not to. I just wanted to keep this very, very simple, but beautiful. So, I mean, that's my opinion. Don't want to get ahead of myself, you know. But anywho, so this is where I'm kind of just playing with it and seeing, let's keep it simple. So I'm just cutting off another strip of that burlap. You guys, I don't measure anything. I eyeball it. If you guys would like measurements, I can totally start doing that, but I really don't measure anything. So then I'm just taking that piece and I'm just cinching it in the middle along with that bow, if that makes any sense at all. And I don't know if I'm making any sense, but see how it turned out? And then I fold my sides together and I dovetail it. Be careful, because I always dovetail backwards and it's like an arrow. So my one side ended up being shorter than the other, so I kind of had to like tug at it. So just be careful with that. Make sure that you are cutting to where it makes a dovetail, or don't do a dovetail at all. It doesn't matter. Then I'm cutting another little strip and I'm just taking that and hot gluing it around where that wire is so that you don't see it. Sorry, my son is being a menace. And then I am just blowing everything off, getting it, so there's no stuff on there. And then I cut some more of the right side off because I felt like it was still more fuller than the other side. So I don't know. Now I feel like the left side looks more full. I have no idea. You guys, it drove me insane. Then I'm gluing my bow and I realized that I did the bow like on the wrong side. So that little piece where we folded it over was showing through. So I just snipped that off. I don't even know if you guys noticed it, but it was driving me crazy. And then I hot glued my bow in the middle of the swag. And you guys, I love how this turned out. I feel like this is very high end. My opinion, I know someone said my crafts are not high end, so whatever, that's their opinion, but this is mine. I feel like this is something that you would find at Kirkland's or Hobby Lobby, and I just love it. And I cannot believe I made this from a gift box. What do you guys think? Moving on, this is my absolute favorite one I have done. I pulled inspiration from a Pinterest photo. I've seen another person paint, I think it's, what is her name? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now. White Sparrow Living, I believe. She did one of these. This is my take on it. So you're gonna need 3 boards. I already had this Noel sign. I used to have my own business and I bought a bunch of signs to put in the store to sell. And when we moved, the store closed, so I had a few of these, but you can also use, I'm using 2 Dollar Tree ones too, so you don't need a piece of wood. Just get 4 from the Dollar Tree and glue 2 together for the middle one, and then leave 2 standing alone on this side. Then I am going to take some of that ivory and give them all a good coat. I only needed to do 1 for the Dollar Tree signs, but for this Noel sign, I had to do 2 coats because I didn't want any of the words to show through. Then once those are dry, or somewhat dry if you're like me, because you're not patient, I'm taking some of my antique Waverly wax and I'm just making a very long stem, if you will. Just something to go off of. It doesn't have to be perfect. You guys, I am not a good painter and I love the way these turned out. You don't have to be a good painter to do this. So you can see my line is not straight perfectly, but like I said before, I love like handmade crafts. That I feel like those are super in right now. A little imperfection is beautiful, and so you don't have to be perfect with this. And then I knew I wanted 3 different greens. So I'm taking that same Kelly green and some Waverly antique wax and I'm mixing it together to make almost like a hunter green. And then I am going to use Celery by Waverly. And then I'm taking almost like a lime green and I'm toning that down a little bit too with a little bit of that antique wax as well. So I am going to let this play through. I'm not going to cut any parts out because I want you guys to see how I did this. And like I said, I am by no means a good painter, you guys. I'm honestly surprised at how good these turned out. I thought we were about to watch a disaster in the making, but these turn out beautiful. So take a paintbrush, a flimsy paintbrush, and just start making these little swoops, if you will. They're kind of just little bitty swoops, and I'm spacing them out with the darker green. And so yeah, I'm just gonna let you watch this part. And then I'm going in with that celery, and I'm just going in between where the darker ones were and where, where the darker ones were. Duh. But yeah, so same thing, same concept, just like I said, however you want to. And then once I was confident, I took a thicker paintbrush and I just darkened up those lines. And then towards the end, I just start using the same paintbrush because I didn't care if some of the colors ran together. So see how fast I did that? Yeah, you see that? Then I'm going in with that lighter green, and I'm just going anywhere where I feel like there are holes. Just going in and just rubbing them together. Like I said, I'm using the same paintbrush because I don't care if they run together a little bit. Then I'm taking some of the white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm just going in just to give it a little bit more dimension and highlight. And you guys, I love this. And then I just start like kind of brushing out the edges just to give it a little more like handmade, like dimension of the Christmas tree, if you will. And then moving on to our next one. By the way, the first one was on the Noel one, so the bigger one. So if you do 4 of the Dollar Tree ones, do that one on the bigger one, or you can do them however you want. That's just how I did it. I'm drawing a stem, and then I'm taking a sponge brush. And for this tree, I'm going more at like a point, if that makes sense. Like same concept, darker fir, celery, green, and then Waverly, but I'm doing these at a like diagonal arrow point. And then once you've got a few more of your colors in, it should look a little bit more like this. And this is where I'm going back in with the same Waverly. And I use the same brush throughout this whole project. And I'm just filling in those little cracks and, you know, just making it a little bit more, you know what I mean. Now this one, you guys, this was a disaster, and I ended up having to go back and paint back over it. But that's the awesome thing about paint, is if you mess up, you can fix it. So once that somewhat dried, you can still see a little bit of the green, but I didn't care. For this one, we're gonna do triangles. So I'm taking that darker green and I am making one triangle. I'm taking the lime green and I'm making a little bigger triangle. And then I'm taking the celery and making an even bigger triangle. You guys didn't see that coming, did ya? No, I'm just kidding. And then take those colors and just feel them in. Fill them in. And then snap your fingers and you're done. No, I'm just kidding. And like I said, I use the same paintbrush for everything. Now I'm just taking some of the colors and I'm just like mixing them in together, blending them in. I take some of that Waverly and give it a little bit of a brown in there too, not too much. Don't get cray-cray, okay? Just a little bit, and just giving this tree a little bit of dimension and blending those colors in so that they kind of, all 3 of them are very cohesive in the same color pattern. And then at the very bottom, I'm sorry you can't see this, but I just make a stem, if that makes sense. Just a very like a stem. This one is thicker than the other ones, but that's okay because I feel like this tree is a little bit thicker than she's thick. It's a little bit thicker than the other ones. So, and like I said, I like it. I like a little imperfection. And then I'm just distressing the edges. I did this on all 3 of them just to give them a more rustic vibe look. And that's it. And here is the finished product. You guys, I love this so much. I know I've said that, but you guys, this is my favorite Dollar Tree DIY that I have ever done. These will definitely be part of my Christmas decor every year. And I don't know if it's the simplicity of them. I just love them. So let me know what you guys think. Okay, for this one, you're gonna need a board of some kind. You can use the Dollar Tree boards. I just can't find those long ones anymore, or right now, not anymore. And I just have a ton of scrap wood out in my backyard. So I just went out there and snagged this, and then I'm just giving it a good stain. I would have liked leaving it the real wood, but this has been outside, so it's a little weathered, so I had to sand it down. And I just gave it a good coat of that antique Waverly wax. Then you're gonna need these mesh screens from the Dollar Tree that like go in your sinks. And I know you guys are thinking like, what the heck are you gonna do with these? But you're gonna need 2 packs. So you're gonna start with the 2 bigger ones and you're gonna remove them from that ring, just one of them. Now, the other bigger one you can kind of cut because we need it just a little bit smaller than the bigger one, but not too much smaller. So don't cut it super duper small. So I'll show you kind of what I do in a second. And then this is what I'm talking about. I'm just going through and cutting, you see how much I left on that rim, so it's not like I went super far in. You guys, be careful with these because they are sharp on the end and you do not want to get cut. So for the smaller one, we're just going to pop that one out just like we did the bottom one. And you guys see what I'm doing here? See what I'm doing? Who can guess what I'm doing before it's done? I want to say comment something, but then you could go ahead and comment it after it's done. Anywho, who knows what it was before? Let me know if you knew what it was before we started. Then I'm taking some of this white Waverly chalk paint and I am just going over the screen. You're not going to get a lot of coverage, so don't freak out. Just get as much as you can. And then if you're impatient like me, you don't wait for these to dry, but you're going to go ahead and lay them on your board, get them like in a position you like, and then just hot glue them to the board. Then you guys saw me haul this in my Dollar General haul, excuse me, get it right. My Dollar General haul, and I thought this would be really cute to put on top of our snowman. You guys guessed it. If you don't know by now, it's a snowman. So I just thought this would be super cute. You guys can do whatever you want. I know Dollar Tree has like top hats. I don't know if you can like slice them down the middle. That would be really cool to make like a 3D top hat. And then I'm taking this lace ribbon and I want to make a scarf. And the easiest way that I found to do this was to just cut one little strip to go across his neck and then cut a longer strip and tie a knot, if that makes any sense. See, I'll just let you watch. Then I'm just taking my buttons from the Dollar Tree and I'm finding 2 little black ones and just some different color ones to go in the middle. I want to keep this very rustic and farmhouse, so I do want to keep the colors of the eyes and the buttons neutral. And then obviously we're going to glue those cute little buttons down. Now for the nose, this is the end of those red berry picks. It's like a browned end, and I thought this was so cute. It was perfect for the nose. And I didn't want to do orange because like I said, I wanted to make this rustic. I thought about using a stick so you guys could go in your backyard, get a stick, but I had this literally just laying there from the first DIY. And I think that this ended up perfect. And then I'm taking the jute that was the hanger on that end, the top hat, and I'm just cutting it and making a mouth. And then I am just gluing those buttons down the middle of his belly. Now this isn't a flat surface, so I did one kind of like go on like the top of the belly, the middle of the belly, and then like the bottom of the belly, if that makes any sense. Then I'm just taking one of these Dollar Tree little silver bells and I'm gluing it at the bottom of the scarf just to add a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of extra something, okay? He said he wanted a bell. So then I'm taking that same brush that I painted this board with the antique wax on, And I'm just going around the edges of the snowman just to give it a little bit of like depth and dimension, because I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it needed it. Then I'm taking this happy holiday sign. This was on one of the Dollar Tree signs that we used for the Christmas trees, and I'm just refurbishing it. I keep everything, you guys, and I'm just giving it a good coat in the white Waverly wax. While that was drying, I added a little bitty pine cone to his top hat because I felt like it was, I don't know, it has the red berries, but I felt like it was bland in the middle, if that makes sense. And then I sanded all the edges on this and a little bit of the top hat as well. And then once that was dry, I am taking these stickers from Dollar General. There they are. I was waiting on them. They were $1. I showed you guys these in my haul, and I decided to do Holly Jolly. They did have Let It Snow, but I didn't. Let It Snow is kind of like a pink color, and I didn't. Like I said, I want to keep this rustic. Then I just Mod Podged over that to take away from the shininess. I added 2 little buttons on the side, and this little guy is done. Let me know what you guys think. I thought this was kind of clever, but I mean, I don't want to like brag on myself, but I can't believe I thought of this. So I wanted to say, my husband, when I told him what I was going to do, you guys could totally drill lights in the back, or holes in the back of this, and put lights in it, and they could shine through. I think that would be so cute. So moving on, this is going to be a quick one, you guys. I got this lantern from the Dollar Tree, and I got these little ornaments from Walmart for $1.98, and they are so cute. They almost look like Rae Dunn. I'm just taking some raffia and tying it around the lantern, you guys, and I like to scrunch my raffia up just to make it a little like crunchier. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just to give it a little bit more so they're not just like straight out straws, if that makes sense. So then I'm taking this little ornament, and I'm gluing the bow in the middle of the raffia so it looks like the raffia is coming out from the bow. Now you could totally leave it here, it looks super cute like this, but if you wanted to take it a step further, I took some of these red berries, I cut 2 little bitty small pieces, maybe 1.5 inches, and I curled those up and I glued those behind the bow like it was coming out with the raffia, and I thought that that just added just a little bit of that red Christmas color in, and I think this turned out super duper cute. And I love these. I have a few more. I grabbed like 3 or 4, and I definitely want to make some more of these. Which one is your favorite from today? Let me know. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.